You're thinking
Welcome back to the Five. If you notice, I once again am at the bottom of the pecking order here. And
I'm after you,
thank
Bob.
the producers for that. There's a battle brewing over the proposed Keystone XL pipeline. The $7 billion, 500-mile pipeline would run from Canada to Texas through several U.S. states. Proponents of the plan say it would create thousands of jobs, and the United States' dependency on foreign oil, opponents raise environmental concerns. I didn't read that right.
That was great. That was like a mad
well, in other words, the people who are for it like the jobs, the people who are against it, environmentalists, and it's as simple as that. We don't have to read that stuff because I can't read anyway. What do you think, Dana?
I think that the Keystone pipeline is a no-brainer. It's energy from a friendly nation. It's tens of thousands of jobs to create it and then to maintain it. And don't forget, the states that have the pipeline going through it would get a lot of revenue. Because there's taxes along those lines. We are going to need to get energy from somewhere. We're clearly not going to get it from Solyndra or wind. We need to have a chance to do this. Now, what's happening, though, is that governors who might want to have the pipeline go through their state and create lots of these jobs, they're on all sides of the fence, because this is not necessarily a partisan issue. It is geographic. It's about birds. By the way,
I know you raised Solyndra because you're trying to get even with me because I said that about.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
You only meant that in one thing. You were saying wonderful things about the communication director.
We go really
wait. Have I covered that one now?
No,
Let me make that. We're gonna have, I think, almost unanimity here, except Eric will figure out some reason Obama's responsible. But I think the idea, when I was in the Carter White House, I had to lobby for the snail darter to stop a plant being built in Tennessee. And I got to tell you, man, I like environmentalists, but my father once called me up and said, "What's the spotted out thing?" I said, "Well, Pops needs old growth forest to eat." He said, "How many jobs?" I said, 25,000 lumber. 25,000 jobs in now. Give me my shotgun. I can handle that.
Oh,
now,
boy.
I think that the idea that we would not take advantage of this from a friendly neighbor, just as Dana said, is crazy. We need the jobs. I'm for jobs unless you can prove to me there's an environmental danger.
There's birds.
That was a great question.
28 birds. Did you know about this? 28 birds. It's going to violate the 1918 Migratory Bird Treaty Act because on or about May 6, 2011, they said they, I guess, they did take one, say, Phoebe.
That was actually in North Dakota, where they were. North Dakota has, I think, the lowest unemployment rate in the country, and partly because they have an amazing amount of energy, and they're going after it. The problem is it's a natural gas development, and 28 birds were killed. This is a criminal statute, but in our country, we actually don't have the same statutes apply to wind power, which kills more birds.
Yeah, that's the wind power is the Ted Bundy of bird killers. It's the irony of environmentalism is that they end up. I'd love to see the debate between environmentalists and animal rights activists over this stuff. It's like two drunk hippies pulling at each other's hair.
What were you going to say?
I'm saying the only problem with the transcontinental pipeline is it's transcontinental. We're piping oil in from Canada instead of drilling our own oil.
We need to do all of it.
What?
But we need to do all of it.
No, we're very, very
Why wouldn't you want to get oil from Canada? Are you against free trade with Canada?
Not in the slightest.
Do you hate Canada?
I'm in favor of free trade
Please don't start
Texas,
Canada again.
God save our glories.
You're a former oil trader.
Houston refineries buy oil from Alaska.
You think you can get 100% of the oil needs in the United States?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Easily.
Wow. Should we bet on that?
The birds thing on the winds, okay. First of all, birds bring down airplanes, right? They crap on your windshield. I mean, birds ought to be had at Thanksgiving. I mean, I don't know what the big deal about birds is.
Well, in San Francisco,
birds, aren't they?
In San Francisco, they're trying to
don't fly into airplanes or like go on your windshield.
I just don't think you got to stop.
There's new regulations in San Francisco that went into place that for new construction, you have to have these special new windows that cost a lot more to prevent birds from flying into the windows.
What I mean,
and so, yeah, that's a great New York what is that accent? But what's interesting is that in the article in USA Today earlier this week, the environmentalist who was working on this law said, "Oh, I don't think it's going to cost that much." But it's not her money. She doesn't have to worry about it.
They didn't even do a proper study about
this. Are you kidding me? They're changing windows so the birds can't fly into them?
Yes.
And they don't even know if even one death by window has occurred in San Francisco.
It's actually in your packet
for these birds. There's no research, anything for whatsoever.
There's plenty of birds on the Galapagos Islands. I mean, you know, I'm not against
so meanwhile,
birds.
This is San Francisco.
Yeah.
More concerned with birds than naked men walking in their city. I don't care about the birds. I will not sit on a park bench.
I just relocated to New York City, and I can tell you one thing. How you put up with these pigeons, man, I don't understand it. There's nothing about them. They're disgusting. They're dirty. They're disgusting. disgraceful.
Pigeon hater.
Well, thankfully, they're not covered by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, or you could
Of
get
1918.
thrown in jail, like in North Dakota.
Can I point something out about our little wind turbine thing? One of our good friends.
Our little wind turbine thing?
Yeah, this whole the green energy. Boone Pickens spent $2 billion trying this little experiment in the Midwest, Kansas all the way straight down. Didn't work out. He's probably going to lose all $2 billion.
There's more wind energy sitting there ready to be put on a grid, but they can't handle it.
It's a terrible energy.
Where private enterprise gets involved, they say, let's try it. It failed. And the government didn't spend that $2 billion, unlike
Have you been to Montana or California where they use that energy from windows?
Yeah, it always has to be backed up with generators, which is just as costly.
Oh, that's
at least
crazy.
2 generators.
I just made it up.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
He doesn't care.
What did you say?
You got to read this.
She said tease. Oh, I got to read what? Oh, yeah, coming up. Why is Greg so awesome? Well, because he's funny, man. Well, because he's awesome. That's a dumb question. But after the break, he'll rant about the latest PC madness that's affecting the war on terror, Eric's brain, and other things. If you leave now, I'll stop by your house and steal your throat pillow.
I love that.
And you're important.
You get a wiggly worm and then you watch him squirm while you put him on a hook and then you drop him in the brook. And if everything's gonna turn out right, you're gonna fry.